CMOs, CTOs are going out there, making themselves active on podcasts. They're creating content on LinkedIn. They're, presenting at events. Even if they're not buying booths, they're just going to hang out at events to meet their prospects and customers. So I think these are some of the ways that, companies really need to start thinking about. Gone are the times where you can just, write one email nurture. Gone are the times where, Prashant and I were discussing this, like 10 years ago, people, how did you discover your audience? You bought a lead list and then you started cold calling and sending emails, right? And it's completely flipped, right? The last, it's just, I put that in the chat as well. Like, I feel like the last 3 years in general, with COVID, with the, the onset of AI, with, the onset of social selling and the way buyers, budgets going down, everything is constantly being flipped on its own back, right? We're having to constantly rethink. So I think these are some of the companies, some being incumbents, some being new players, that are really doing a great job in going back to, again, some of the stuff that we were discussing before, right? Having clarity on who their ICP is, having clarity on who their customers are, and being able to go where their customers are, create messaging that resonates with their customers very, very quickly and efficiently. So, I would say follow these pages, follow leadership of these companies as well, to make sure that you see how they're articulating what they're doing, how they're doing it, who they're doing it for, and get inspiration from these folks.
Yep, that's a great point. I think a lot of brands now are starting to try to figure out a way to humanize themselves, even if it's B2B. A lot of people have this mistaken opinion that it's business. You got to treat it like a business thing. No, people want to know who's behind the company, right? And that's where, having your leaders at the forefront, making the human brand in front of the company brand itself helps people connect better with what you're doing over there. I've seen Apollo.io. It's a great example too, where they do like customer takeovers on their social media. So they'll feature customers and have their customers tell their story. All that stuff goes a long way for helping people to better identify with the brand. And you have to remember, at the end of the day, even though this is business, we're still doing business with people. And at the end of the day, people are making the buying decisions. So they want to, like the people that they're doing business with and see other people like them having a great experience with those brands too. And I think that really resonates with people, especially in the day of automation, where everybody can do it. And it just becomes even more impersonal and overwhelming, that, actually having a personal relationship with the people that you do business with actually shines through all the crowded noise out there.
Yeah. And I think one other thing to think about, of course, there are, other B2B marketers, other B2B SaaS companies that are doing this really well. But one of the places that I feel, I get a lot of inspiration from is B2C companies, is B2C marketers, right? They have been humanizing themselves and their brands for years. They speak directly to the customer. They try to be as witty, as funny, as relatable as possible. So as B2B marketers, right, like looking to B2C guys and, folks that have been doing it for a while is a great way to kind of understand how to change our own mindset of remembering that we might be a company, but we are people selling to people, and we need to talk like that. We need to write like that. We need to present like that. So B2C guys have been doing this for a long time. So they're a great inspiration, right? So any product you consume, any product you use, like follow those guys, see how they're doing it and how they're being able to humanize themselves as well.